Hello! Today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Grackle Slides extension for Google Slides. Now this video assumes that you already have the Grackle Slides extension, but if you don't, I've included a video in the upper right hand corner that will show you how to find and download it. Just replace all the times that video says Docs with Slides and you should be good to go. So now, assuming that you have that extension, we are going to go into the extensions button in the menu up top and find Grackle Slides. And from there, we're going to move to the right and hit launch. Now this presentation was one I made as a purely visual thing in high school for an AP Lang presentation. So it's not super accessible because, like I said, it was only intended to be seen visually. But a lot of you are going to send out your slides to your students, so especially for students using screen readers, there are going to be some things you need to fix so that students can actually access your presentations well. So to start off with, in the presentation section here, presentation title is required, so make sure you're not sending out something labeled untitled presentation up here to your students. You need to actually give it a title so that your students know what they're looking at when they click it. Next up, document language should be specified. So this is in English. So what we can do is we can go into File over here up top and then go find Language. So under Language, we can go find English United States and select that. And that should fix it. If it doesn't, you've done your due diligence, it's fine. Next up is the Slides section. So a slide should have a title. A lot of these were relatively untitled. Make sure you have sections in each slide labeled title. Slide title should be unique, so make sure you don't have like 3 copies of Bio 101, for example, as a title. You need to have unique titles for each slide so that students using screen readers can accurately parse the information in each one and actually access that information and skip through slides so they can not have to listen to the entire thing to figure out where stuff they need to find is. Next up, you shouldn't have any empty slides. That's just kind of a given. Make sure there's no unnecessary data usage, that kind of thing. Next up is the tables section. There are no tables in this presentation, but if you do have a table, you need to make sure your table is tagged and described. So that means it needs to have a header so that students can understand what in the table is describing the other things in the table. That's important for, again, students using screen readers and just your normal students in general to understand the actual data contained within the table. And then merged cells and empty cells are not recommended. Again, for students using screen readers, it's just a formatting thing that makes it difficult for screen readers to go through and read out the data within a table. Next up is the elements section of the extension. And to start off with, images and elements should have alternative text, and what that is metadata that allows your screen readers to describe images to a person with visual impairments. This goes for both images and Google elements like shapes put within your slide. So for example, this fun flower I have back here is an element or an image, and if it wasn't decorative, I might need to describe it to my students so they can actually access the information contained therein. Going down further, text boxes should not be empty. Don't just have random empty text boxes. This will find those empty text boxes for you, and you can delete them. Finally, lists should not be broken apart, and what that means is you should only have one list element within a box, making sure you aren't hitting enter too many times and it becomes a new list element every time. Finally, there's the contents section of this extension. So fine print should be avoided and high color contrast should be used. So this is for students with visual impairments or color blindness who can actually still see things. It just makes it easier for them to read your information. If you bold or italicize something, it's recommended that all text be added to it explaining why. If you have something like a title of a TV show like I do in this presentation, you might not need to do that. It's just a stylistic thing that I did to hit formatting requirements and isn't necessary to alt text for your students. Then finally, empty trailing lines, and what that means is don't have random enters for formatting. Try to use your text boxes in a way that you don't need to have tons of singular enters between paragraphs. Those are all of the sections in the Grackle Sheets extension for Google Sheets.
Thank you for watching. Please email oit@pointloma.edu with any further questions.